Here I am joined by an amazing and very large panel of top creators, and I know there's some in the audience too that are excited to ask some questions. We don't have a ton of time, so I wanted to just rapid fire, go down the line, introduce yourself in case there's anybody here who's been living under a rock and has no idea who you are.
Hello.
Start with you, Steven.
Hello, everybody. I am Stephen He. I shouted emotional damage once, and now I get invited to stuff.
Oh, I like it. Keep it brief. I like it. Yeah, Steven's amazing. Bring it on, Jaden.
My name's Jaden Sprinz. I do like comedy videos and fun skits on all the platforms. So, yeah.
And then I'm Austin Sprinz, also on all the platforms and doing mainly lifestyle and travel content.
Oh yeah, I'm Drew, Tubefilter. You've heard enough about me. Bring it over to you. Yeah, RAMENGVRL.
Hi everybody, I'm RAMENGVRL. I'm a rapper, songwriter from Indonesia, and I'm also the founder of Going Noodles, my creative platform, which I can give you all the cool sentence about it, but basically it's just a platform for me to do cool shit. So,
yeah.
I hope I can say that here.
Yeah, I think so.
You can now.
Cool shit.
I mean, if it's true, it's true.
It is.
Hi, I'm Casey, and I'm from the Philippines. I am an actress and social entrepreneur. I'm also a United Nations Goodwill Ambassador for the World Food Program, and I do mostly lifestyle storytelling, and I do travel and just fun stuff for some fans.
Everyone here's got good posture, too. Okay, thank you to our esteemed crowd. All right, I want to remind you some ground rules here. This is an Ask Me Anything, so feel free to ask anything, but it's not an answer everything. So no pressure for you guys to answer any question that you're uncomfortable to. Give your best effort. Most of the questions can be either directed at an individual creator or the panel as a whole, and we can answer it. So who wants to ask the first question? You're so shy. Wait.
We've got one in the middle.
Wait. Raise your hand.
I'm running.
Oh, yes.
Hello. Surprise, it's me again. I'm Cosette. I'm
yeah,
from
Cosette,
New York.
thank you so much. Big round of applause for Cosette doing the
everyone.
brave first
Thank you.
question.
So, you are all creators. If you woke up tomorrow and you had 0 followers and all of your social media was gone, what are the first 5 things that you would do, or maybe 3, to start up your social media career from scratch?
Okay, so if you're starting from scratch, if this nightmare situation occurred where everything is gone, how would you start? For 3 things that you would do to start your career. Who wants to take this? I think
That's a crazy question.
Yeah, I think you're itching to answer that
I feel like
one.
I could start this one off. So I think the very first thing I would do is restart all my platforms and go on everywhere. But I think what makes a really great creator is one that bridges the gap between ideation and execution. So when you come up with these ideas, you have to post very quickly, and you have to post to every single platform in the beginning, because you might have a really good video, and on Instagram, it doesn't match up with the algorithm or whatever is performing on there. But let's say you posted it on a place like YouTube Shorts, and it might blow up there, but you never saw that because you only did it on Instagram. So first is definitely throwing it everywhere.
Okay, so you go wide and start listening to what's working?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then after you find that piece that starts working, that's obviously when you start just doubling down on that, recreating more content like that, following that same structure, and then just building that out over and over and over again. And then you do it for years.
And years and years, and then finally,
and years.
Finally it'll take
and then
off.
Boom.
And then boom. Anyone else have an idea?
Yeah,
Casey.
I guess like going viral is amazing, but also each one of us will have to go through some moment of reinvention. So I think like reinventing is natural and should be part of our like process, our lifespan, right? And so I found out, so being Filipino, right, there's 116 million or more, like 117 million of us Filipinos, and 15 million of those are all around the world. Maybe 3.5 million in America. And I think the quickest way to get to them is music. So music videos are actually the most digested or most like Filipino favorite sort of like video content, digital video content. They love watching music videos.
They love it.
It's like top 3 reasons for going online is watching music videos. So I would probably go back to music and churn out some music videos with and go online and go and do that and take them from there.
Do you post, what language do you post in primarily?
Well, we're an English-speaking nation. We also speak Tagalog or
Yeah.
Filipino, so English is not a foreign language to us. It's a second language.
Yeah.
So I post in Taglish.
Taglish?
It's a mix of
Tagalish.
Tagalog and English. But we do like subs and we do a lot of like transcriptions in English. So
Smart.
yeah.
Anyone else want to take a hot take on this?
So if I had to start all over, I would probably go super crazy and post like 10 videos, but I'd look at all the top creators and I'd kind of basically take their concept, change a variable, and see which ones hit. And whatever one hit, I would literally film that same thing 10 more times, change variables in each one, and then try to create a new trend out of that.
So you would take like a very like scientific approach to.
Very scientifical.
I like that.
Yeah.
Just start throwing things out and just.
Yeah, exactly.
It's that sense of experimentation, but I have a feeling that's what you do anyway. Like even now.
Yeah, that's exactly what I do now, and that's actually how I blew up in the beginning. Is I would just find random things and change variable each time. Each video would just go viral, and the fans would love it, and they'd want more and more and more. So.
Yeah. Well, if you have an infinite fountain of creativity pouring from you, then I guess it's easy for you to do that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Anyone else, or you want to try another question? Oh, Steven, go ahead.
I would make a channel for my cat. Yeah. And my cat will have way more followers than me. That is a cheat code, everybody. But my serious answer is I would go right back to work. I would go back to doing exactly what I was doing before that happened, because I am all in on making a great video. And in the process of learning to make a great video, learning to build a team around your writers, your producers, your performance, your editors, in your journey to improve the video, what matters is not the 28 million people that click subscribe in the last 5 years. What matters is now I am much more capable after, writing 300 terrible videos, and I can now write a better video. And after shooting 500 terrible videos, I've learned how to use my camera. So at the end of the day, I think our capability to produce a better video is what matters.
100%.
I'm all in on that.
It's a skill and a talent, and that's something that's been refined through your process, and especially when a lot of platforms are algorithmically motivated, right? The subscriber count and the legacy doesn't become as important as just what's hitting, right? So I think, I was talking to young people who, I say, who do you follow? Who do you like? They're like, well, I let the feed kind of make that determination, and then their behavior is what determines that. So it's interesting to see how. I think you make a great point. This isn't something that it's like a legacy that you build brick by brick. You're actually refining a craft that makes something viral, especially if it's being served in short form or on an algorithm. It's the quality of the video. It's not the quality of the last video.
Yeah, so
that
I
makes it
believe
go. Yeah.
if I continue, my viewership will reach the same. The algorithm will probably take an extra month or so to reach and find those people. But whatever views I get today, I will also get on my next upload because of the quality of the video.
Yeah, let's test it out. Why don't you zero out your subscriber base right
Why
now?
zero?
Just zero.
Yeah, why don't we try
We're
it?
going to set this channel up right now. Anyone else? Do you have anything you want to say? You want to try another question? Or
I mean, everybody kind of already spoke on the same thing that I would like to, kind of reiterate. But other than crying to my manager first, after that, I would also just go back to work, but also with the feeling of, it's actually a bit liberating in a way to have like nobody, waiting for you or watching your move. Like, what's your next move? It's
the scrutiny, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, not just the scrutiny, but also, the love can also be kind of addicting in a way, as in like, oh, okay, they love this type of content. I should make
so I
this.
have to do it pigeonhole, yeah.
Yeah. Or like they like this kind of music. This kind of music is trending. I should make something like that, even though at the moment I'm feeling a different kind of mood. So honestly, it kind of feels liberating in a way, and that just means that you're starting in like, what do you call it, ground zero or something. Yeah, and you just kind
of a grand reset.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this was a thought experiment, but it's a very real reality for some people, especially if the algorithm changes or there's, different policies that are affected, or, certain politics, shut down a certain platform for a second. I think there's a lot where this is a real reality to think about, and it's also really good for the creative process. Great question, Cosette.
Awesome question. We have one down here, Drew.
Oh, good. We have another one.
Now you have to tell us who you are and who you work for.
My name's Paul Phillips. I work for the South China Morning Post. Very glad to be here. Two quick questions for me. One, what piece of advice would you give to your younger selves? People following your footsteps, people looking up to you who want to follow in the same path that you've done. What advice would you give to them? And then lastly, what do you think of Macau?
Okay, let's do the easy one first. What do you think of Macau? Bang, one word, two words, keep it short. What do you think of Macau? Let's start with Steven.
Super cool. Would come back 100%.
Nice. Jaden.
I think it's beautiful, and the architecture is amazing.
So much fun that it's actually my second time up here.
Oh.
And the thing that I did that was new this time is we went to the top of the tower, scaled it all the way up.
That's awesome.
That was the craziest thing in my life. Probably the coolest videos I've ever gotten. So much fun.
Very cool.
What do I think of Macau? I honestly have no complaints. No, I seriously love it. You know, in Indonesia, we don't have like this kind of architecture. And, you know, we can experience a few different countries kind of here. So it's kind of a deal, to be honest, to just be here and experience those. And also today, I've experienced skydiving for the first time. So that was
You went
nice.
skydiving?
Dining. I wouldn't. I could never with skydiving.
What is skydiving?
It's dining in the sky.
Like eating up in the air?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
With your feet kind of dingly dangling
Wow.
up there. But it's pretty fun. Should try. 10 out of 10.
Yeah, Macau was off limits for us kids. My grandpa came here to gamble. And it was like, I thought it was just all casinos and stuff. And then I went up to like the Amma statue yesterday and saw the casinos from up there. And I saw the like old town and everything. And that was super nice to see, like soulful, more like real. And the food is so good.
So good. Yes. I ate chicken feet for the first time this morning at breakfast. I was very excited about that. I went to the dim sum. I opened up. I was like, what? All right, let's do this. It was delicious. The food here has been amazing. People up here are amazingly friendly and accessible and interested in what I have to say, and I'm so interested in what they have to say, so love that. Okay, so the other question that you had was just a quick piece of advice that you would give to anyone who's aspiring to...
Younger self. If they bumped into their younger self, what would their advice be to their younger self?
Okay.
If they bumped into a 16-year-old
Yeah, we don't have to all
version of
answer,
them, what
but
would it be?
who wants to take that? I think, yeah, go ahead. You give me that look like, yeah, I got this. Trust.
I think what I would tell my younger self or anyone that's trying to get into the realm is you always hear how important consistency is, but I truly believe it is like the king of everything. It is the most important. And the reason is that I don't know many people that posted every single week and did that over the span of 1, 2, 3 years that didn't make it. And when I was first coming up in the very beginning, I did not make any money on social media. But what I decided to do was never skip a day of posting. And one day of posting turned into posting 2 a day, it turned into posting 3 a day. And then I did that over the span of 3 years. Still didn't make a lot of money, but it made me one of the top 100 most followed TikTokers. And that was the main piece that I did, would just be post.
You know, I got to say that's amazing advice because I hear it again and again. You know, when creators say things like, you know, just do what you love, I always would kind of dismiss that as like, all right, yeah, do what you love, sure. Like, you got to do it, you got lucky, but if you don't love it, there's no way you're going to sustain the day in, day out of posting again and again and again. If you're just doing it for like a clout chase or something like that, it's going to get tired for you. And I think if you really are doing something that you love and you're passionate for, you're going to continue to commit to that discipline to continue to post, because if your heart's not in it, it's not sustainable, I think.
Yeah, you got to do it for the love of the game.
Love of the game. Anyone else have a little advice for their former self?
I can offer some advice. I would say the biggest thing is obviously what Austin said is consistency is key. And if you can keep that up for as long as possible, you'll definitely be successful. And another piece is I think it's really important to always take one thing that you think you can improve after every video. And it doesn't have to be big, it can be small. Like you can be like, oh, my lighting was too bright. Next video, you just turn it down a little bit. You know, maybe my background was not cool enough, add one little thing. But if you do that with every video and you do one small thing, one small improvement with your video, with your editing and everything, you'll see that each video will get consecutively better and you'll have higher quality videos on and get more views.
That's some dedication. Ramen Girl?
Yeah, I actually do have something to say to my younger self. Well, first, just do it, you know. But second of all is, I guess, you know, don't just believe in like the first or whoever industry people coming your way and, you know, trying to, I guess, for like a better word, like sell you candies or something. Mm-hmm. And I don't mean that in like, oh, you're going to get a bad deal or whatever, even though you also can. So really be careful with that. But also what I'm trying to say is like really listen to yourself, because there's gonna be like when you're on the come up, there's gonna be a lot of like people, especially from, you know, the industry or whatever institutions they're from. They're gonna be like, yo, this is trending, you should do this. This is what's popping right now on the charts. You should make music like this, blah, 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 blah. Even though like at the end of the day, and I've seen this many, many times, so I know for a fact that like if you just do whatever it is that you feel is right without trying to listen to like the trend or like what's hot right now, if you just, you know, being authentic and genuine, like it will eventually always catch on.
I like that, yeah. Know your value and know what your values are.
Yep.
Yeah. Jasper.
We once asked that to a fairly famous pop star. Her immediate answer was, dump your boyfriend, he's a 4-letter word. If you met your 18-year-old self. Question here, you have to tell us who you are and what you do.
Hi, I'm Sunny. I work for Branded. I don't normally sound like this, I promise. But obviously being, you know, creators and artists, it's a very go, go, go lifestyle. And so my question is, how often would you guys say you will get burnt out or, you know, hit a creative halt? And how do you cope with that and still be putting out content or music and like throughout that, I guess?
How do you deal with the enormous pressure of creativity that you need to produce? I know no pressure, no diamonds, and we can't have too many diamonds, right? But how do you manage burnout, that taxing creativity? How do you come up with new ideas? Those are the kind of questions I think that we want to find out. How do you sustain the creative output?
I can answer that.
Let's do it.
Yeah, so I've been working since I was 15. So I started in cinema. I started as an actress on TV and film. And before that, I was blogging. I was a Filipina living in Paris, and I was a student, and I was like vlogging like lifestyle, and then I eventually wrote for a Philippine newspaper, like the lifestyle section every Sunday. And I love this job, right, of entertainment, especially in the Philippines. It's insane. Like if you've never been there, go, because it's just so fun, and people speak English, and it's just like Hollywood mentality through and through. We were colonized by America and everything. So 116 million Filipinos watch you, right? Not just in the Philippines, but all over the world. And you work from like your teens, and it's just, you do everything, right? You do everything. You sing, you dance, you act, you host. They train you like K-pop style to do everything, and they plug you in and let you work. And work and work, and you're just like, oh my God, this is a great opportunity. Everyone would die to get into in this position, and so you work and you try to stay on top, right? And I basically semi-retired for 7 years, and I'm just coming out of it now. And I decided to go back home, which is online. And now I'm kind of just like a hybrid of just that like person in cinema and TV, and then coming to the online platforms. It's basically such a new world for me because it's like a hybrid life. These guys have planets of subscribers, right? And I'm just starting online again, but I've built my career in like traditional media. And yeah, it does burn you out, but I think the number one thing I learned is you don't have to stick with a team that doesn't help you keep up, that doesn't take care of your mental health, that doesn't actually take care of your wellness, because they just want the most, right? Like they really work you, and then if you win, everyone wins, right? And I think that's still true now with everybody online, and you guys have your own teams, right? But don't be afraid to work with people that align with you in that chapter of your life where you are at any given moment. Like, I love working long term with teams, but also we go through different like reinventions and different times in our life where we may need different Avengers for that mission, right? And so I think being with the right people and working with the right people is also key.
I think that's a really good point about building your team, because many creators start off doing everything by themselves, and it's very difficult to let go of certain aspects of your creativity. I mean, that's what I've seen. I don't know if you, in your experience, how do you scale? How do you manage the creative demand?
I'll answer that. I think burnout creatively, I think what you're trying to do and your vision of why you're going to work makes a massive difference, at least for me personally. So the difference between I'm waking up today to make a video to go up on Sunday versus I'm waking up today to build a film studio to take over Hollywood in the next 10 years. Having the vision that you're passionate about and gets you up every morning makes a huge difference for me with not getting burnt out by what I'm doing.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah,
They're
I
not
actually
burnt
agree
out
with
yet.
Stephen. I agree with Stephen a lot on that. I think it's having a big enough why, and it's a why that's almost so big that even on those off days or when things aren't working out the best, you know that you're going to keep persevering and pushing because you have such a big dream that needs to be accomplished. And if you give up now, you'll never get to see what the top of that mountain feels like. So when you act with that, I think it gives a lot of motivation to keep going. And I also think you have to be really cautious of the self-talk that goes within your mind. And sometimes it can be very unconscious, but when you hear, like when you see a lot of the comments, if you think about negative comments and you let those affect you, it can almost demotivate you. But I've noticed if you become really cognitive of what's going into your mind, you can be a little more cautious of letting it control your day, essentially. So one other piece that I do a lot that helps me is meditation. In the morning, I'll just meditate for 5 to 10 minutes. And that's one of those processes that helps me clear my mind, but it helps me focus on what's going through my mind and catch it if I think there's negative thoughts or anything that's going to bring me down. And I can swap that real quick by changing that mindset.
I think we're ready for our next question.
Oh, this is a revenge question. You have to stand up and tell everyone who you are.
Oh, no.
Everyone knows who you are.
So I'm a creator myself, and I often feel pretty overwhelmed with a lot of the to be optimizing all your platforms, there's a lot of labor that you need to put into like every social media platform and to constantly be active on all these things just to maximize your influence, to say. So it definitely becomes, for me personally, it definitely becomes a bit overwhelming to try and make sure you're being super active on this and this and this and this and this, while also still having the capacity to work on other things that's not like just kind of maintaining your audience, if that makes any sense. So I wanted to ask you guys, how do you manage structuring or planning or organizing how you go about your work as creators to not get overwhelmed, and also feed into that burnout question as well? But it gets pretty overwhelming. So how do you guys deal with that?
Yeah. So creator to creator, how do you structure your system so that you can stay top of all that engagement that's required to keep your platform, keep your accounts sustainable on the platform?
Oh, I have some answers here. This is actually insightful. In our company currently, we have 4 systems running, which serves 4 different markets, and I feel like this could be a blueprint if it is of value to you. So first, we begin by studying and researching and then identifying a market that we want to take. So for example, Instagram Reels. I would like to have a significant presence on Instagram Reels, whether that's views or followers, and then we would go and engineer the perfect video for that platform. So that being taking maybe 100 uploads to study how to write, how to film, study other creators, and trial and erroring, and then optimizing on each upload. And then once the product is good, once the video is good and is consistently getting 5 mil, 1 mil, however many views, then I've built a team around execution. So the Shorts team, for example, the writers will come in on a like Friday morning, and they'll pull me for 6 hours. We'll shoot the stuff we need to shoot, and then the editor takes that and creates the 10 posts that week. And so my involvement is only 6 hours to create that. And that system, we did 120 million views last month. So it is possible to study a market, engineer a product. Once the product is successful, build a team around it, and then you can leave to build the next one. So currently we have 4 systems that one is aimed for short form, which is currently doing the best on Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts. Another one is my main channel Sketch, which is our flagship product. That's what everyone knows me for, the emotional damage, stuff like that. I lead that one. And then there's a second channel one, and there is a 30-minute episodic comedy one. So I don't know if that blueprint sounds helpful, but it is possible. You can do that.
Steven, do you have a partner that manages that business side, or is that you who does this? Because I don't know if every creator has an entrepreneurial spirit necessarily. How does it work? I mean, do you have a chief of staff? Are you running the show? Like, what's going on?
So the business side is separate from everything I just described. Everything I just described specifically makes content, and each system has its own output. For example, 10 short form pieces a week. That is entirely built by me. But on the business side, yes, I do work with agencies and management firms that procure opportunities for sponsorship.
Yeah, I mean more just like the execution. I mean that's pretty impressive what you've described that you built.
Yeah.
I think also it allows you to scale, I think, in a way that doesn't stress you out too much. I mean, you're like saying I do 6 hours and then, this machine works. So more opportunities come through, you can increase your output without being a bottleneck yourself, which is something we discussed earlier yesterday about how creators, often are their own sort of bottleneck. And, how can they start to scale without stretching themselves too thin or just maxing out, honestly. Does anyone else have a system in place that they want to share with creators here in the audience? Ramen Girl?
I guess, look, what Steven said is amazing, and I don't think anything can beat that. And I'm a bit embarrassed because, I only have probably 2 people under my team to, handle the the social media and marketing. But I guess as musician, it might be a bit different because, at least for me, right? We're very moody. We're always trying to focus on songwriting, basically getting the song out, getting our feelings out, yada, 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 be authentic in the songs. Meanwhile, the content is very different from, I guess, creators, because we see content as more like a marketing platform for our music instead of our product. Our product is the music, and then the contents are the canals. I'm saying it right? The canals.
Totally.
Okay, the canals to get the music out to more people, more audience, right? But I guess the same as what Steven said, is to have a system, even though my system is very humble compared to his, is to have a really great team. And I'm very fortunate enough to have a really great manager and a really great team that would let me be on more my right brain, if you know what I mean, just more on the creating side, be on my more feely side, moody side, and get that out into the music so the audience can feel the authenticity. And then my team can be on more their left brain, having the system, having the schedule, remind me kami insist in Indo, we have a schedule to post this on Monday, you have to do this, this content with this what do you say, influencer on Wednesday, and then we have a clipper. We basically also like hire like a, how to say, like some clippers. I mean, pretty sure you know what clippers are. Like, it's not part of our team, but like they're kind of in the ecosystem. So they're literally clipping like videos of me or like music videos of mine, and then putting their own edits to it. Like, for example, a ramen girl mental core on TikTok, or then whatever weird unhinged shit I say, because sometimes my personality my personality can come out other than the music, and then you just post it on their platforms. So it's not my own platforms, like we don't own it, but whatever they're posting on their platforms help to kind of, how to say, promote me as a musician and the music as well.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like your team helps you create the space so that you can be yourself. Like you don't want to get all that left brain influencing or
because they can really affect. Yeah, they can really affect the music.
Space to be creative.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's important. Some people building that out is their creative space, right? So I think it depends on who you are. You guys have anything that you wanted to contribute? I think we kind of saw two different sides. This is interesting.
Yeah, I mean, so what I find is the most beneficial is filming. I start my video off on camera instead of using one of the platform's cameras. I use like a professional camera or even my phone. So, I have the raw footage and I can edit this based on what platform I'm posting it on. Because I think every platform kind of has a different audience range. And I like to not post everything on every platform. I kind of gauge each platform and see, what my audience is liking, and then pick which video from my collection that I want to post on which platform. And then me and my girlfriend, we work together to just schedule these out, so we're always ahead. And I think that's an easier way to kind of manage it without having a big team.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I know we're running out of time here, so I'll be quick with this one. But whenever it comes to creators, I think the most important thing is to become a master of delegation, because your art is essentially that you create, but there's a lot of tedious tasks that are done in this realm, like posting or hiring or doing some of these other things. So the second that you can outsource that, I think it becomes really important so you can keep your mind just on the creation process. So I always say a good hire for creators, a good first hire is always an assistant. And that's the first thing I hired. And that's when I realized it was taking me too much time to post everywhere. And now my assistant does that all for me. And then, okay, great, now my mind's back in just creating every day. But now I'm writing scripts, and now these scripts are starting to take so long. Okay, now I have a producer. Awesome, back to the creation process. And you kind of just repeat that process over and over again every time your time's taken away too much.
I just think it's interesting to hear all the diversity of responses to this question, because we have people who are operators, you have strategists, you have pure artists. It's just interesting how these teams come together. You have to really understand what your skill set is and what you're good at, and then just fill that out. Whether you have a team, like, hey, it's like, I want to get in there and I want to build the system. Like, that to me is exciting. Some people are like, I don't want to have anything to do with that system. I just want to be creative. It's like, oh, I want to figure out how to optimize the system that's built in front of me. It's just really interesting to hear that. So thanks for these really insightful answers. Jasper, do we have another question?
We have a question from the front row. You have to stand up and tell us who you are and where you're from.
Hi, everyone. I'm Cynthia. So I'm actually based in Macau, but I'm from Brazil. I'm a wellness instructor, and I'd like to know, what is your biggest why? Like, what makes you wake up and keep going, even when maybe you don't have a follower or something like that? Something when frustration hits you.
Why are you doing this?
Nice question.
What's your biggest why? I love that. Who wants to kick that off? I think, Casey, why don't you kick this one off?
Sure.
What is your why? Why? What's motivating you? What
My
makes
why
you
is connection. It's really a human connection. It's fun to be entertained when you see like challenges and viral things and all of that. I think at the end of the day, at least for me as a Filipino, maybe in this panel representing the Filipino audience, the number one motivation for Filipinos to go online is human connection. There's so many of us scattered all over the world, and we're such family people that we always like to stay connected and learn about the world through each other, which is actually interesting. I read about that somewhere. And so, yeah, human connection, and just, I guess, learning about the world. Like, right now, like, I'm in a stage in my career where, like, I use social media as a tool also to talk about my work with the United Nations and bringing people on the field to see more, like, behind the scenes things of what we do for the World Food Program. So that's, like, quite different from where I was at just 10 years ago, where I just wanted to do fun things. And I still do fun, bite-sized, digestible content to get to the 30s and below, 20s and below. I do like market adventures and things like that, you know, just bring them along with me, go shopping for like 12, 15 minutes and just like spend all this money on like fish and produce and crab, and these are places they don't expect me to be, coming from cinema and all the glamour and everything. So those are fun stuff to do, but I think just human connection, human heart, it's always the heart of like storytelling, and there's so many different ways to skin a cat, right? So many different ways to tell your story, and yeah, it's just all about that. Then I guess that's everyone's goal, I guess, right? To like connect.
Ramen Girl, what gets you up in the morning?
What gets me up in the morning? I guess, well, this is the reason, and still the big reason why I'm doing this is to express myself and to have fun. And I know that, you know, that sounds kind of like whatever, or like very casual and light, but I truly believe, like, in this world, at least I am meant to have fun. And because, you know, a lot of people are very serious. Like, I've seen a lot of, I mean, I believe not you guys, but like I've seen a lot of like musicians and creators, they become a bit too, I guess, invested in like the things outside the music and the creation itself, that it just became something else. And I'm not saying this from like a higher pedestal in which I did not feel that way too. I sometimes got that same feeling, you know, sometimes I forgot like why I did this for, but then I always get reminded, because the burnout always comes, you know, just to touch on the previous topic of burnout. Like, if I do something not for the sake of self-expression or to have fun or to, again, like what Kristina mentioned, which is to, you know, have connection or connect with the audience and the people, like, I would just have burnout. And sometimes it does show or get translated in, if we want to talk numbers, you know, the engagement too. Because I think people can tell when we're not being authentic.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
The audience is very sophisticated.
These days.
They know it more than you do sometimes, I think.
Yeah.
What do you think? What gets you going?
For me, I guess there's two main things. One is I have definitely an audience on the younger side, so I think being able to inspire the younger generation is a really powerful thing. So my goal has always been to be a positive impact in shaping kind of human consciousness and the younger generation coming up. And then on top of that, it's always been to give back to my parents and be able to do really cool things with them. So even on this event, like I have my mom right there, it's cool to be able to take her to events and do all this with her.
Hey.
Hi, Mom. Round of applause for Mom.
Big call out.
But yeah, I wouldn't be anywhere near where I am right now without the support of them. So I'm forever grateful.
Love that. For me, what gets me up every morning is, man, when I first started social media, I do comedy content, as I was saying, but one thing I always thought about is, wow, if just one person in the world is sad right now, and they go and they're scrolling and they see one of my videos, and it makes them laugh, and it just changes their day, how beautiful that is. And when you have millions and millions of views, millions of people are just, you know, they're getting a smile on their face. It's changing the trajectory of their whole entire day just from one piece of content I posted. So that makes me super happy to think about, and it's always made me happy to think about, and all my content is kind of geared towards that younger audience range. So that's what kind of wakes me up in the morning.
I like that.
Yeah.
I'm lucky that I am obsessed. This vision that I've had since I was 13 years old is all I think about. I'm 28 years old now, so it's been a while. I think I'm just lucky that I've had this vision, and even if I were a billionaire today with every validation, every Oscar, every award, I would still go to work and do the same thing because I'm genuinely obsessed about it. So yeah, maybe I was born this way. I don't know. I don't know if I take credit for that.
That's perfect. I think that's super inspiring. Listen, we're getting the red light. Should we do one more or what? I mean, Jasper, you're in charge here.
I think at the end of 5 days, I mean, this is inspirational stuff.
Yeah.
We've got buses downstairs. Have we got time for one more question?
One more?
One more
I hear
question.
someone really excited over there.
You need me to run all the way to the back for the question? Can we get a
Let's do
microphone to
it.
the
Let's
back
do
here?
it.
Let's do it.
Should we do it? Oh, wow. There's
okay,
a fight. Who's going to get
Sean,
this?
Sean Does Magic has a question.
Hello.
Sorry.
Hi.
He has more followers than you.
We should
See how
both
that
ask our
works?
question. Sorry.
Wow.
Hey guys, great talk so far. You know, they say that you can't succeed without failure. And so I just want to know personally from each one of you, what's the biggest failure that's happened in your career that's led to like the most insight or you've learned the most from?
Wow. Okay. This is a good one.
Oh, I have a huge failure. This one everyone's going to laugh at. I made a giant show. I put 2 years of work and hundreds of thousands of my money into it. And not only did it fail, it dragged my entire channel down by about 80%. That was painful. That was painful. It was a giant hole in my wallet, and I definitely learned what not to do now.
You don't have to remember. This is an ask me anything, not an answer everything. But
I mean,
I think this is pretty good.
I mean, I guess we started a acne patch company, and we put a lot of money into it. And you know, we went into something that we didn't really know much about, which was skincare, and especially with our audience range, it definitely didn't work out too well. So we lost a lot of money on that, but we learned a lot in products and what kind of products work best with your audience. So it was definitely.
I mean, you guys have great skin, so.
Yeah, it definitely worked.
I guess
for
we can
us.
thank Mom for that. How about you? You want to share a failure that gave you insight?
Funny enough, it's kind of the same concept my brother said, because we got into an industry that we didn't fully understand. We had a technology that we believed worked really well for it, but even though we had that amazing technology, it wasn't compatible with our brand. So because of that, I kind of believe like you can have the best thing in the world, but if no one sees it, it's never going to get bought. So that was something we had to learn a big lesson from because we put a lot of money into it. But because of that lesson, I was able to create something new that connects to my brand more, which is now I have a company called Momento, which is pretty much a screenless digital camera. The accent feels like a disposable, but this is something that's super in my realm. So it was almost kind of fascinating because we went through all those lessons of that first company, learning how to handle manufacturers, learning how to hire, learning all the processes through that. I was able to take that piece, and instead of letting it go, because I've always learned there is no failure, it's only feedback. Take the feedback from that, go into this next business, and this next one we have has been really, really successful, thankfully, because I went through all those lessons.
That's great. Yeah, good. Streaming Awards, we've been producing for 14 years. Our second show we did ourselves. The first one was a super success, but we thought it was because we were just amazing, but we just got really lucky because all the things that we got lucky on the first year, we didn't on the second year. It was a spectacular failure, but yeah, okay, he was there. That failure got a lot of attention and like allowed us to like build this into such a bigger, huge thing. Come talk to me at the party about that, and I'll tell you all about that. Or talk to Jim, he was there. I guess, yeah, there's people there we'll never forget. Anyway, yeah, you learn from those mistakes and then become lessons. They become opportunities to learn, right? As long as you persevere. How about you, Ramen Girl?
Oof, I've done a lot of mistakes, but the biggest one is probably, again, like touching a bit on what I've mentioned before, is to not read the fine lines and just believing in, the first industry people that offer you a sweet candy. So just to touch on it a little bit more detail, like I had a kind of like a viral moment first viral moment in 2018 or something, and because of that, like I got offers to like play in China, basically play overseas, play in China, play in Japan, play in other countries. But then I believed in the partner or label at the time that, let's just say, they did not do their job very well in like securing that and just do the dirty work, the visa and everything. And they just said to me that, look, the money is not outside. The money is in Indonesia. You just got to do what you got to do in Indonesia. And obviously at that time, I did not believe it. Like my a little bit younger self did not believe in that. But at the same time, I was young, dumb, and broke. I was stupid, so I was like, oh, maybe they're right. They're more experienced than me, so they must be right. So I just kind of followed them.
I know that trap where it's like, oh, they know better. Even though your heart tells you.
Yeah, even though your heart
knew.
Yeah.
Your heart knew, though. Yeah.
Yeah. So after that, like, I met, my new manager. I kind of kicked them out. There was a whole another rabbit hole, but it's very different from like kind of capitalizing from a viral moment, and then it's a little bit down, and then you gotta kind of start all over again. Not all over a lot, but like a little bit. So there's that.
Casey, do you have an anecdote you'd like to share with us?
I have a lot, but I think it's just saying yes to everything is not the best decision. I thought it was. I was like, this is my yes year, and then you say yes to everything, and you do shoots. I mean, in my world, it's like then you end up showing more skin than you should have, and then you regret it 5 years later, and just like certain things that aren't authentic to you, right? So it all boils down to like, don't say yes to everything. There are times when you should, because then you might hold yourself back, and in that sense, go and make it a yes year. But I've learned to have boundaries and to not be afraid of saying, no, this isn't for me. And then we have AI and everything, right? All this data, and it's like you build businesses and build artists and build creators based on like AI data, which is amazing. I had a meeting with Althea, and that was so insightful for the next steps. But AI is also evolving, right? And so there are certain things we need to take our human brains, and we have brain cells for a reason as well. So it's good to like kind of like make that hybrid and know when to refer to AI and when to actually refer to like your.
I like that. Yeah, take risks, but you don't have to say yes to everything. I think those are great lessons, and I want to thank everyone here for your heartfelt responses to this Ask Me Anything, and I think you answered everything. So congratulations to all of you. We did a successful session together.